Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Couple videos ago, maybe even just one or two videos ago, I was telling everyone that I see a new trend emerging. I see the trend of the even though we've had a bear market or prices have been going down for quite some time, I have noticed that there's a huge amount of energy around certain altcoins and also around Bitcoin. Once again, people are calling for new all-time highs. People are calling for new amazing things to be happening to Bitcoin and to certain altcoins. But in the midst of all of this, it appears that the number two coin, at least at the moment, Ethereum, has not had that light shed on it. And I think it's a massive accumulation of many things that have been happening for the last couple of years. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Earlier this week, the one and only Vitalik Buterin sat down with prominent crypto journalist Laura Shin to talk all things Ethereum. In the interview, this being the first live episode of Unchained, Buterin was surprisingly candid, letting a few things slip out of his lips that may have caught some on the back foot. That's not a real saying. For those who were wondering as well before, a little side note, Unchained and Unconfirmed are two podcasts that I listen to. They are from Laura Shin. She's a bit Bitcoin maximalisty, but she knows her stuff, so this is why I do listen to her. According to Breaker Mag, Shin started it out with a toughie. She said, "Is Ethereum losing its lead?" Surprisingly, Buterin conceded, remarking that yes, Ethereum is losing its command over the smart contract blockchain ecosystem to some extent. The Russian-Canadian coder chalks this up to his brainchild's nascency, explaining that as the industry swells, there will naturally be competitors that rear their heads. He adds that this gives projects time to build off their predecessors. The 26-year-old programming whiz goes on to touch on potential competitors. He said Polkadot, a yet-to-be-launched crypto project that raises or has raised $100 million. That's insane. Buterin explains that he doesn't see the blockchain replacing his own, yet he explains that he wouldn't be entirely disheartened if the privacy-centric Zcash or even Ethereum Classic were to usurp his project's own hegemony. On the other hand, he poked fun at Tron, explaining that if the Justin Sun-run venture manages to take over Ethereum, he will have lost a certain amount of hope for humanity. Right. Buterin isn't the first to have brought up the issue with the narrative that Ethereum was always the go-to platform for decentralized applications. Kyle Samani, the co-founder and managing partner of Multicoin Capital, noted that well-funded, high-potential blockchains could eventually pose a threat to Ethereum's multi-year supremacy. The Multicoin executive noted that Cosmos and the A16-ounce backed Definity, two projects that run their roots in 2017, could take a large part of the smart contract development deployment pie. Not that I don't think that bear with me. I don't think it's necessarily going to be these two. There are a lot of other coins out there who are gunning for at least the top 5 spot for the smart contract platform and stuff like that. There are a lot of people who have realized that Ethereum isn't doing as well as a lot of other people thought that Ethereum was going to do, and they're trying to now slide their way in to be able to say that they are the top smart contract platform. World-renowned venture capitalist Fred Wilson echoed this thesis in a blog post. Wilson, the co-founder of Union Square, remarked that the next-gen smart contract platforms will begin to ship and challenge the long-standing leader in 2019, especially in terms of its leadership in this super important area in the crypto sector. In a recent Forbes interview, Alex Sonneborg, a Tetris Capital representative, noted that recent layoffs at Consensus Systems, better known as Consensus, should have a negative effect on the broader Ethereum ecosystem. He added that the fact Consensus is an integral part of the subsector and underwent purportedly drastic staff cutoffs should have some worried. Case in point, the Tetris Capital partner drew attention to the mere $40,000 that is currently staked on Algor, a multi-million-dollar ICO. And it's kind of weird because Algor was touted as this next generation betting speculative platform that everyone in the world was going to use, and lo and behold, barely anyone is actually using it. We've seen many other platforms simply leave Ethereum and kind of move over to other cryptocurrency projects. I think what a lot of them have, or rather have not done because they haven't moved, is I think they're there because of loyalty. A lot of people, and this goes back very long. A lot of people believed for a very long time that Ethereum was going to become the #1 coin, that Ethereum would have no challengers, and that eventually in 2017, keeping in mind the date that we have now, that Ethereum would have had proof of stake and plasma. Sharding wasn't a thing yet, but it was more so that everyone knew that Ethereum was going to be very, very quick and a lot faster than Bitcoin, and therefore at some point Ethereum was going to swoop past Bitcoin and continue to be the #1 thing. And this is part of the reason why when Augur was released, people were like, oh my gosh, Augur is going to be the greatest thing in the entire world. Everyone's waiting to use this. And now it has $40,000 and it brought in millions of dollars in its ICO. That is something that is not good for many people who are wholeheartedly believing in the Ethereum platform. Tying directly into this is what I mean when I talk about like not a shift in emotion, but you can tell that the tides are definitely changing. For those who were here at the end of 2017, maybe even the middle of 2017, 2018, Ethereum was it. Ethereum was the next contender in the ring that was going to kind of bring everything together. And then as we had other coins launching who can do 5,000 transactions per second, and Ethereum stayed at 12 transactions per second and received none of its upgrades that it still doesn't have, even though they've been talking about it since 2016. These new coins came out swinging, and this is why this one ties right into it. Crypto competitors are starting to make a serious dent in Ethereum, according to a new article from Bloomberg. The report highlights an increasing number of developers choosing to build decentralized applications, or dApps, on EOS and Tron instead of Ethereum, and alternative ways to create ICOs on networks such as Stellar. Long-promised projects touting better features are starting to be delivered on rival platforms, and some startups are using coins such as EOS and Stellar to raise funds through ICOs despite lingering regulatory concerns about the sales. The market share for dApps has already shifted. Only 28% of dApp users were on the Ethereum network on January, compared with 100% just 1 year earlier. New analysis on dApp volume from dApp Review in the last 24 hours shows that users spent $15 million on Tron, 13.4 on EOS, and 3.3 on Ethereum. Combined, what is that, 28, there we go, $28.9 million on these two, compared to just 3 million on Ethereum. The surge in volume for Tron and EOS is largely due to the popularity of gambling dApps, which have burst onto the scene in recent months. For those, I don't do it myself, but the volume that these coins, that the gambling dApps pick up, if you were at any point in your mind thinking that you should create a dApp or an application or something that runs on a platform, you're looking for a way to make money, it seems to be it, because these gambling dApps are completely taking over the cryptocurrency space. It's actually kind of insane. Patrick Bareilly, Chief Operating Officer at dApp Radar, says transaction speed is the main reason developers are departing from Ethereum. He said the reason why they got so much adoption, those new protocols, is that they offer considerably better speed. I think that's an understatement. Going from 12 to 5,000 is kind of a no-brainer. The volume of transactions they can do is considerably higher. That means if you have a dApp, then you have a much better user experience. Multicoin Capital co-founder Kyle Samani says Ethereum is simply overdue for a little competition. The simple reality is that until the last 6 to 9 months, there were no other options besides Ethereum. Now there are. Ethereum is working on implementing new scaling solutions this year, as reported by CoinDesk. Ethereum Vitalik. Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin has also recently expanded on the long scaling solutions that could exponentially boost the platform's transaction volume. On that, I have not held my breath, simply because they've been talking about this since 2016. We were supposed to get them in 2017, and then the beginning of 2018, then the middle of 2018, and then the end of 2018. And now they're saying that some point in 2019, we're going to get the upgrades that they've been talking about. And we've also had news before that there's a possibility that it might take until 2021 for us to have the full Ethereum upgrades. And at that point, Tron and EOS, I'm pretty sure will be able to handle at least 25, 30 to 40,000 transactions per second. But the point is, this shift is happening more rapidly than I expected. I'm seeing not so much when it comes to price, but as far as just like actual energy around these projects and stuff like that, is simply, even if you look at the actual daily volume of EOS, even just compared to XRP or Litecoin or any other coin, you know, Tether excluded because, you know, it's Tether. But the point is, the hype around these projects are definitely picking up steam very rapidly, because people realize when you do need a platform for these amazing, wonderful, super awesome games that are going to be coming out, whether they just be 1,000 extra gambling games out there, they're going to need something quick and they're going to need something fast. And this is why I think that we're seeing a lot of movement around EOS, Stellar, Cardano, Tron, and maybe one or two other platforms, but let's focus on the least top 11 right now. All right, everyone, I think that's going to do it for this video. I don't know exactly what the future is going to hold for Ethereum. I personally am not expecting any type of major updates and or upgrades and or hard forks for Ethereum in 2019. You know, we got Constantinople, everything else. I don't think we're going to get Plasma this year. And if Ethereum happens to move to proof of stake by this year, I'll actually buy Vitalik a cupcake, because it just doesn't seem like it's going to be doable. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I was going to ask, let me know what coins you think are going to beat out Ethereum, but that might just cause a huge fight in the comment section. Thank you all once again for watching and listening. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.